A new world of opportunity opened before all of us. Dear viewers, with joy in our heart, we welcome you to a brand new geographic. COD Geographic. Yes, it has a fantastic ring to it, doesn't it? Today we are taking you on an adventure through the wild lands of Blackout, the brand new Battle Royale game mode within the world of Call of Duty. What dangers do these new lands bring? What mysteries can we behold? And of course, what kind of players can we find here? Let's find out. But before we begin, we put Editor Stu on the task of unlocking the theatre mode. Yes, up until this point, he is still trying to unlock it. He's tried robbing the button, he's tried clicking the button like a feral beast, and of course, he's tried sneaking up on the button trying to catch it off guard, but unfortunately, none of Editor Stu's efforts have worked, so because of him, we're stuck with these peasant GoPro camera angles. But that does not stop us from bringing you this fine geographic. Now grab yourself a fine gin and tonic, ask your butler to make you a nice fire, then gently, ever so gently, push him into the fire and make him roll over to the like button to extinguish the flames. Good. Now let us begin. The world of Call of Duty is very much like other Battle Royale games. But this game lends itself perfectly for some different creatures. Creatures we've never seen before. To investigate their behaviours, me and the dear director Sonny Evans dove into the world to see how they react to our presence. And so we made our way to the construction site, where millions upon millions of people seem to land every game. A lot of gunfire can be heard echoing in the distance, and so we called the elevator. But we were greeted by something that would scar us forever. A dead man. Director Sonny Evans knew this meant immense danger, so he acquired the gun on this body. I am a man of reason, so whatever was at the top would probably just want a fine gin and tonic. I was wrong, but fortunately Sonny subdued the beast. My God, I knew this was going to be dangerous, but to be met by this much violence shook me to my very core. Our camera crew strapped GoPros on two unsuspecting players to observe their player style. And here, dear viewers, we catch a glimpse of the Border Patrol. Yes, in a Battle Royale game mode, a wide variety of tactics can be found. From campers to classic Call of Duty RNG players to Call of Duty veterans. Every creature known to mankind can be found right here. The Border Patrol operates by a strict code. No one shall pass, and so they walk around keeping the border behind them. And then they see two unsuspecting players trying to cross their line. They observe for a little while and then they take the shot. And so they both perish. The Border Patrol are extremely territorial. Come near them and you will be met by extreme violence. And they use the collapse of the barrier as a wall and safe zone for their own. A great tactic. Until the very end. But what happens when the border surrounds them on all sides? Well, that's quite simple. Absolute panic. With the zone shrinking in, there are no more places to keep safe, and so often, during the final moments of the game, they buckle under the pressure of their sworn duty. And so they fall. What a great shame. We quickly move on. Here in this next game, we see a close relative of the Border Patrol, known as the camper. Yes, in every game they can be found and often catch the most experienced players off guard. The camper is a nuisance. They often brush it off by saying, well, it's a valid tactic. This is survival. While essentially often they are sitting in a toilet, shivering in fear and crying. And unsuspecting players often fall prey. And so they sit. They sit and wait until an unsuspecting player walks in. But nothing happens. The zone is coming, adrenaline coursing through their veins. Run, run and don't look back. They spring across the bridge as if the end of the world is upon them. They nearly die of a heart attack. They can't be in the open for this long. Exposure to open areas is their greatest weakness. They run and they run. And safety, thank all the gods above. And they're back to their camping ways. Excellent. Settle in, we're going to be here for another good 5 minutes, they say to one another. Fascinating creatures indeed. Meanwhile, in the far north reaches of the map, a special kind of creature. Dear viewers, meet the Sightseer. Yes, the Sightseer is somewhat of a pacifist, a true Call of Duty veteran who just wishes to take in the beautiful scenery and the nostalgic buildings. Look at him, walking around observing all of these beautiful estates. Finely crafted mansions straight out of Black Ops 2, but often the Sightseer gets interrupted by pesky players and of course, the collapse. And so he is forced to move out, but not before taking a final good look at the neighbour's house. Oh, the times I've frolicked around in the snow here. It truly was a glorious time. He takes one final look at the estate before he ventures out. And that brings us to another interesting creature, the zombie expert. Yes, the map of Blackout holds many mysteries, and in certain locations, devious creatures rise from the ground. And this is where the zombie expert feels at home. They often reside in asylum, lighthouse, or at the transit bus station in the hopes to fill their insatiable craving for zombie brains. And so they kill and they camp. Nothing will come between them and their zombies. This is their home and they will never leave it, until the collapse pushes them out, forcing them out into the wild. Yes, this forces them to migrate, and more often than not, instead of getting a prime seat for the final confrontation, they head to another place to kill more zombies. Until they either die in the claws of these undead, or they die to players wondering what the hell they were even doing. Yes, these lands are inhabited by many different creatures, and we haven't even covered the Noob. They die a lot, over and over and over and over, over and over and over and over and over and over again, and sometimes these newbies, they die over and over and over again. Truly a brutal battle royale, one driven by skill and speed, and often those with the most skill win. But sometimes the most unlikely player rises to the top. Remember the Sightseer? Well, what if I told you he, with basketball in hand, decided to venture out some more? He ventured straight to the center of the safe zone. He killed player after player after player. And when the final confrontation unfolded, him and his precious basketball acquired from the Black Ops 2 map raid have won. Yes, maybe it was luck, or maybe it was skill, or maybe, just maybe, it was because of the years upon years of COD experience and the precious basketball to remind him of that. Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching our first episode of COD Geographic. We are very excited for these new lands, and of course are happy with the work that Treyarch have done. We can't wait to do more geographics when the full game is released and we have access to the glorious theatre mode. But until then, Editor Stu will be clicking the theatre mode button until it unlocks. As always, stay safe, dear viewers.